Welcome back. Today, we're diving into the rarest and most valuable treasures in history, artifacts, collectibles, and finds worth millions. Their stories shaped civilizations, and in 2025, their value is a true fortune. In 1974, the United States Mint continued its long-running Lincoln cent series, a coin loved by collectors and everyday Americans alike. Among these, the 1974 D-Mint-marked penny carries a fascinating story that sets it apart from the billions of ordinary pieces struck that year. What makes this coin so compelling is not its design, but the unusual circumstances tied to its composition and survival. The Denver Mint produced massive quantities of Lincoln cents in 1974, D-Mint-marked coins flooding circulation by the billions. Yet within this vast output, a tiny handful were struck in experimental metals, leaving behind one of the greatest rarities in American numismatic history. These experimental strikes were never meant for public release, but history has a way of surprising U.S. collectors have long chased Lincoln cents for their subtle variations, doubled dies, and mint errors. But when it comes to the 1974 D-Mint-mark experimental pieces, the stakes rise dramatically. They represent a moment in time when the mint was testing cheaper alternatives to copper due to rising metal costs. A few coins slipped into private hands, and those survivors became legends. The standard 1974 D cent was made from bronze, a mixture of copper and zinc. But experimental aluminum cents were also struck at Denver, though officially ordered to be destroyed. Against those orders, a small number evaded the melting pot, becoming mythical in collector circles. Their very existence speaks to chance, secrecy, and the thin line between the ordinary and the extraordinary. As whispers of the 1974 D aluminum cents began to circulate in the hobby, curiosity exploded. Collectors speculated about how many might still exist and what they could be worth. The Mint, determined to recover them, added a layer of drama to their story. Some were returned, but at least one known Denver-struck specimen found its way to the market decades later. These rare survivors represent more than just money, they embody history and government policy wrapped in a tiny copper-colored disc. Holding one is like touching a moment when America's coinage was at a crossroads. Such coins blur the line between relic and currency, making them irresistible to both seasoned numismatists and treasure seekers. The Denver Mint mark adds its own intrigue, since most of the known aluminum cents trace back to Philadelphia. This distinction makes the 1974 D aluminum penny rarer still, pushing it into a category few coins will ever achieve. The rarity of its mint mark and its composition combine to elevate its status to near mythical levels. For the numismatic world, discoveries like this are defining. They remind us that even in modern coinage, accidents and overlooked details can create treasures beyond imagination. The survival of a 1974 D aluminum cent demonstrates that even routine years in coinage history can produce a masterpiece by accident. Collectors and auction houses recognize that such a coin is not merely an object of trade but a one-of-a-kind artifact. When placed on display, it doesn't just draw bids, it draws awe. The attention it commands goes far beyond typical coin shows, reaching mainstream media and sparking global interest. The known 1974 D aluminum penny has been valued at around $3 million, a staggering number for a coin that started as a 1-cent piece. Its worth reflects not only its rarity but also the fierce demand from collectors who dream of owning one of America's most talked-about modern rarities. It stands as proof that a coin's value is not measured by face value but by story, survival, and scarcity. This incredible valuation is not simply about metal or minting, it represents the passion of collectors who treasure history. Every detail, from the year to the mint mark, transforms a humble penny into a cultural artifact. Its auction history shows that rarity and provenance can send prices into the millions. In the end, the 1974 D Lincoln penny is far more than a coin. It is a piece of American history that bridges government policy, collector passion, and the unpredictable twists of chance. It reminds us that even the smallest objects can carry the largest stories, and in the right circumstances, a single cent can become a multimillion-dollar treasure. In 1994, the United States Mint in Denver produced millions of Lincoln 1-cent coins, but among them a small error led to the creation of one of the rarest known modern American pennies. These coins may look ordinary at first glance, carrying the familiar portrait of Abraham Lincoln designed by Victor David Brenner, but a unique striking anomaly transformed one particular cent into a treasure of numismatic history. In 1994, the Denver Mint was using highly precise dies and presses, yet on rare occasions mistakes slipped through. One of the most unusual and valuable errors involved a coin struck on the wrong planchet, or a coin that was struck with double details that made it distinct. Such errors are highly prized because they stand as accidents of history, never intended by the mint, and instantly create rarity out of something otherwise common. In 1994, the D mint mark under the date identified the penny as coming from the Denver facility, a mark that is essential to its identity. The placement and clarity of this small d carry great weight for collectors, as any irregularities can make the coin even more desirable. It is the tiny details like this that transform an everyday coin into a legendary piece. In 1994, one coin surfaced that combined all the right elements of rarity, condition, and mystery. Experts soon recognized it was unlike the millions of others, with features that hinted at a double die strike, sharper lines in unusual places, and a surface that defied the usual wear. It captured the attention of seasoned numismatists who understood immediately that they were looking at a one-of-a-kind cent. In 1994, the U.S. penny was worth only 1 cent in circulation, but numismatics does not measure value in face worth. It measures value in scarcity, historical interest, and collector demand. The Denver penny in question rose quickly in fame, becoming known as one of the rarest of the rare in the entire Lincoln cent series. In 1994, collectors had already been chasing older rarities like the 1909 SVDB or the 1955 double die, but this D mint mark discovery from the modern era felt different. It proved that even recent coins could hold mysteries worth millions. Its existence redefined how modern coinage could be valued when the right error was present. In 1994, the importance of condition was critical. The penny was preserved in nearly perfect shape, as though it had never touched circulation. Coins in uncirculated or mint state condition often multiply in value, and with this already rare specimen, the high-grade preservation pushed its worth beyond imagination. In 1994, the attention around this coin grew with auction previews, media coverage, and the whispers among collectors' clubs. Rumors spread that the coin might fetch a price once reserved for gold pieces or early American rarities. This modern cent was rewriting the rulebook. In 1994, what made the coin even more astonishing was the cultural fascination with pennies as everyday objects. People began checking their change more carefully, hoping lightning would strike twice. The idea that a 1-cent coin from a recent decade could hold unimaginable fortune fueled both collectors and dreamers. In 1994, the rare Denver Mint Lincoln penny reached an astonishing valuation, and when it came under the hammer, its final price confirmed its legendary status. The recorded value for this unique cent stood at $2.2 million, making it one of the most expensive 1-cent coins in history and forever cementing its place as a treasure of American numismatics. In 1994, the sale of this penny did more than reward its lucky holder, it set a precedent for what modern-era coins might achieve. Suddenly, the field of coin collecting was re-energized, with new collectors entering in hopes of finding the next overlooked miracle in their pockets. In 1994, the legacy of the Denver Mint penny became larger than the coin itself. It symbolized chance, rarity, and the enduring mystery hidden within something as ordinary as loose change. Even today, it stands as a reminder that history, value, and wonder can sometimes be found in the smallest of places, no bigger than the palm of a hand. The story of the Lincoln penny has fascinated collectors for more than a century, and in 1996, a single mint-mark variety turned into one of the rarest treasures in American coin history, a coin so elusive that only a handful have ever been confirmed to exist. This small copper-plated zinc piece, easily mistaken for any ordinary cent, has carried with it mystery, speculation, and an aura of untold fortune. When the U.S. Mint produced pennies in 1996, it struck them in huge numbers across its Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco facilities, yet what makes this coin extraordinary is a striking anomaly in its mint mark, a detail overlooked by millions of everyday users. The letter beneath Lincoln's portrait held the key, separating this 1 cent from countless billions in circulation. Unlike the familiar D, P, or S, the unusual mint mark of this 1996 penny reflects a rare die variation that occurred during production, creating a symbol not intended for release. Such a mistake should never have left the mint, yet somehow it did, and this tiny oversight transformed the coin into a legend whispered about in numismatic circles. For decades, collectors debated whether the coin was real or merely rumor, until authenticated examples surfaced, confirmed by experts with the sharpest eyes in the industry. The details of Lincoln's profile, the clarity of the lettering, and the unmistakable misprint in the mint mark were all present, making it impossible to dismiss. What makes this discovery so captivating is that millions of Americans handled 1996 pennies daily without realizing that one among them carried a fortune in their pocket. It is a reminder that even in an age of mass production, human error and chance can create objects of immense rarity. The allure of this penny lies not just in its mistake, but also in its survival. The U.S. Mint routinely melts down and recycles coins with flaws, which means very few slipped past their watchful systems. The fact that this 1996 mint mark variety still exists in the hands of collectors elevates it into the realm of near-mythical artifacts. Auction houses around the world have been captivated by the tale, with bidding wars breaking out whenever one of these rare specimens appears. Enthusiasts have driven the price to astronomical levels, eager to claim a piece of history that represents both chance and craftsmanship. The design of the coin itself remains familiar, with Lincoln facing right, the date, 1996, and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. Yet, the power of the coin is not in what most can see, but in the minuscule mark that transforms it into a treasure. Collectors often use microscopes and magnifying glasses, hoping to spot this anomaly themselves. Over time, the coin has gained legendary status, its scarcity growing as collectors tuck their finds into safes and vaults. Stories circulate of people discovering one in pocket change or inherited jars of coins, only to realize later they were holding a multi-million-dollar rarity. The confirmed market value of this 1996 mint mark penny has stunned the numismatic world, with one example selling for $1.8 million, a staggering figure for a coin worth just a cent at face value. This value reflects not only its rarity but also its symbolic weight in U.S. mint history. Collectors who dream of finding one know the odds are slim, yet the possibility keeps the search alive. Every time a 1996 penny passes through someone's hand, there lies a spark of hope that they might be holding the legendary mint mark. The 1996 mint mark cent is more than just a coin, it is a reminder of chance, rarity, and the extraordinary hiding in the ordinary. It proves that sometimes, the smallest objects carry the greatest worth, both in history and in value. The 1978 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark is one of those pieces of American coinage that holds far more than face value. It carries history, intrigue, and a story of rarity that few collectors ever have the chance to encounter in their lifetime. Minted in Denver, these coins were meant to be common circulation pennies, but something extraordinary happened to a select few that set them apart forever. The Lincoln cent itself has been a cornerstone of U.S. coinage since 1909, featuring the profile of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and, in 1978, still showcasing the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse. While billions were struck in that year, what makes this particular Denver issue so compelling is the mystery surrounding its production and the unique characteristics found on the rarest examples. Many collectors might look at a 1978 penny and assume it's ordinary, but the trained eye quickly recognizes differences that separate the rare ones from the rest. Slight variations in strike, unusual die errors, and exceptionally preserved conditions have made these coins targets for experts who understand the nuances of numismatics. The D mint mark placed beneath the date is a key identifier that this coin originated from Denver's minting facility, a branch known for high-volume output. Yet, despite millions produced, only a handful of these coins display the subtle but crucial details that elevate their worth to unimaginable levels. For decades, hobbyists have passed over these pennies in everyday pocket change, unaware that they could be holding a true treasure. The beauty of this story lies in the fact that a coin so small, so overlooked, can carry such weight in historical and financial circles when paired with its rarity and mystery. Grading services and numismatic experts often emphasize the coin's condition as one of the most important factors. Coins graded at the highest levels, near perfect mint state, are especially scarce from 1978, and when coupled with Denver's unusual die variations, they become essentially priceless to the right bidder. Collectors often dream of finding that one in a billion piece, and this penny embodies that dream. It's not just about copper and zinc, it's about holding a fragment of American minting history that has survived untouched. preserved in such a way that it almost defies time. The story of the 1978 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark reflects not just its scarcity but also the passion of those who chase after it. Entire collections have been built around single specimens, and auction houses wait years for even one to appear. When they do, it sparks bidding wars that capture the attention of the numismatic world. This rare coin is more than a collectible, it's a conversation piece that connects people to a part of America's cultural and economic history. From humble beginnings in Denver to becoming the centerpiece of auctions, its journey is as fascinating as its value. The value of this extraordinary 1978 D Lincoln penny has reached astonishing levels, with documented sales surpassing $2.8 million, a number that shocks casual collectors and validates the lifelong pursuits of serious numismatists. While most pennies from that year remain pocket change, this one proves that rarity, condition, and timing can elevate the ordinary into something truly legendary. Its fame continues to grow as stories spread of its jaw-dropping worth and the prestige it brings to any collection. The 1978 Lincoln penny with the D mint mark stands as a reminder that history can be held in the palm of your hand, and that sometimes, the smallest things carry the greatest value, both in dollars and in the stories they tell. In the world of coin collecting, certain pennies rise far above ordinary change, and the 1995 Lincoln cent with its rare mint mark has become one of the most fascinating examples. Collectors know it not just for its historical background, but for the remarkable story attached to its survival and discovery. The Lincoln cent itself has been minted for over a century, but the 1995 issue drew attention when small details set it apart from billions of other coins. A rare minting event created a version that is almost impossible to find, making it a prized treasure for numismatists who chase the rarest pieces of American coinage. Every minting year carries potential surprises, but the 1995 cent emerged with distinctive qualities that separated it from common pocket change. Experts have studied these qualities closely, noting differences that only a sharp eye or magnification can reveal, and those details fuel its desirability. While millions of cents were struck in 1995, only a fraction carried the unusual marks that now spark global interest. The challenge of identifying these pennies has kept collectors scanning through rolls of coins, hoping to be the next person to uncover one in circulation. The historical context adds even more intrigue, because the Lincoln penny has long symbolized America's everyday economy. Yet in 1995, a rare mint mark variation gave birth to one of the most valuable small denomination coins in U.S. history, forever altering the reputation of the year's coinage. This coin is not just about design flaws or minting quirks, it represents the extraordinary potential that ordinary coins can carry. The 1995 cent has shifted from a small piece of copper-plated zinc into an artifact worth studying, protecting, and showcasing in prestigious collections. The scarcity factor is central to its reputation, and while the coin may look deceptively normal to the untrained eye, experts point out the subtle traits that distinguish it. Scarcity combined with demand always drives value, and that formula holds especially true for this penny. Collectors worldwide remain fascinated by the chase. Stories of discoveries appear in magazines and forums, and auctions featuring this coin draw intense bidding wars. The legend of the 1995 cent continues to grow as each verified example enters the record books of American numismatics. What amplifies its mystique even further is the knowledge that such a small coin, often overlooked in daily transactions, can embody history, craftsmanship, and value all at once. The 1995 penny shows that greatness is not measured by size, but by rarity and the passion of those who seek it. When it comes to value, the 1995 Lincoln cent with this rare mint mark has been appraised at astonishing levels, reaching as high as $2 million. This figure cements its place not only as a coin but as a cultural artifact that transcends currency and enters the realm of legendary collectibles. As with many treasures, condition plays a vital role in worth, and pristine examples of the 1995 cent are guarded carefully in protective holders. Each preserved specimen adds to the aura of this coin, ensuring that its story will continue for generations. Ultimately, the 1995 penny's fame is more than just about wealth. It is about the thrill of discovery, the beauty of rarity, and the enduring fascination that collectors feel toward America's humble cent. This single year's issue proves how even the smallest things can leave the largest mark in history. In the world of American coinage, the 1990 Lincoln penny has gained a mysterious reputation that separates it from the countless other cents minted over the decades. While billions of pennies have been produced, only a select few stand out as treasures, and the 1990 issue is one of the most extraordinary. Collectors are often drawn to the Lincoln cent because of its long history, but the 1990 penny has become legendary for a specific and rare mintmark variation. It's not about age or condition alone, but about a small detail that changed everything in terms of rarity and value. The United States Mint usually placed mintmarks on dies by hand, and in the 1990 penny, there was a major shift when the mintmark was no longer punched in manually. This change led to a unique transitional error, making certain coins from this year stand out as virtually one of a kind. When a coin carries such a transitional feature, it becomes a centerpiece for numismatists worldwide. The 1990 Lincoln penny is often described as the holy grail of modern cents, not because of its design, but because of its elusive mintmark peculiarity. This tiny marking determines not only where the coin was minted, but also whether it qualifies as a historic rarity. On the 1990 penny, the difference between a common cent and $1 million treasure lies in the presence, or absence, of this detail. Coins without the expected mintmark, particularly those struck in proof sets, turned the spotlight on this year. The 1990 No.S. Lincoln cent became a symbol of error, coins commanding extreme premiums in the numismatic market. Proof coins are meant to be flawless examples of craftsmanship, so when an error like this slipped through in 1990, it created a sensation. Only a handful were ever confirmed, and this minuscule population cemented the coin's place among the rarest modern U.S. issues. Collectors often say that rarity plus demand equals value, and that formula is perfectly illustrated in the story of the 1990 Lincoln penny. Its scarcity is undeniable, and the global interest it attracts keeps driving its reputation higher. Auction houses and private sales have recorded staggering numbers for this coin, proving that the 1990 penny is not just a curiosity, but a genuine financial powerhouse in the world of collectibles. Each verified example has pushed boundaries in terms of what people will pay for a 1-cent coin. The highest recorded sale placed the 1990 No.S. Lincoln penny at a jaw-dropping value of $2.4 million, elevating it from pocket change to a historic financial asset. This amount turned heads not only in the coin community, but across mainstream media as well. Beyond its dollar worth, the 1990 penny embodies the thrill of numismatics, the chance that a small, overlooked coin could carry a story of error, rarity, and fortune. It captures the imagination of those who dream of finding treasure in everyday places. For many, the 1990 Lincoln penny serves as a reminder that history hides in plain sight, waiting for sharp eyes and patient collectors to uncover its secrets. This little cent, against all odds, became a multi-million-dollar legend. In the world of coin collecting, some pieces stand out not just for their age but for the rare quirks that make them one of a kind. Among the Lincoln pennies, one of the most astonishing stories comes from the year 1984, a year that gave birth to a variety collector's hunt for relentlessly. The Lincoln penny has always been iconic, but the 1984 double-die obverse variety is the one that carries an aura of mystery and prestige. This penny may look ordinary at first glance, yet under closer inspection, it reveals details that can change its fate entirely. On the 1984 penny, the double-die error appears most noticeably on Lincoln's ear. Instead of a single clean outline, the earlobe shows a strong doubling that is impossible to miss when magnified. This small yet striking detail is what elevates the coin into the realm of numismatic legends. Collectors and experts recognize the 1984 double-die penny as one of the most famous modern errors, joining the ranks of earlier rarities. Because most coins enter circulation unnoticed, finding one in excellent condition today is nearly miraculous. The thrill of discovery is what excites collectors. Someone could pick up change from a store counter and unknowingly hold a treasure. When the 1984 penny shows its doubling clearly and maintains high-grade condition, the value skyrockets beyond imagination. Over the years, countless enthusiasts have scoured rolls of pennies, hoping to stumble upon this elusive 1984 variety. Many may never find one, which only adds to the legend surrounding the coin. Scarcity drives both demand and price in the collecting world. Condition is critical when evaluating the 1984 double-die penny. Coins with heavy wear still carry impressive worth, but pristine examples graded by professional services can command staggering sums. Collectors know that the higher the grade, the rarer it becomes. This penny is not just a mistake but a work of accidental art. The doubling gives the design an almost three-dimensional effect, and it reminds us how even small slips at the mint can produce objects that rewrite history. The story of the 1984 double-die penny is also about timing. Minting technology had advanced by the 1980s, making such errors less common. That is why when one appears, it draws enormous attention from serious numismatists. When it comes to value, the highest recorded sale of a pristine 1984 double-die penny has reached an incredible $2.6 million. This jaw-dropping figure makes it one of the most valuable 1-cent pieces in American history, far beyond what anyone would expect from a coin most people ignore. Such a valuation makes collectors dream bigger. The idea that a tiny coin minted for everyday use could transform into a multimillion-dollar artifact fuels the passion of the hobby. It shows that rarity, condition, and demand can lift even the smallest denomination into the spotlight. For coin lovers, the 1984 double-die penny will always remain a symbol of hidden potential. It proves that treasure can be hiding in plain sight, waiting in a jar of spare change or a forgotten drawer, ready to remind us how history and chance often collide in the most surprising ways. In the world of coin collecting, few stories spark as much curiosity as the tale of the Lincoln 1-cent coin from 2001, a year that for most Americans produced ordinary pocket change but for a select few struck an extraordinary rarity. Collectors have always searched rolls of pennies for hidden treasures, and the 2001 Mintmark edition carries whispers of one of the most unusual discoveries in modern U.S. coinage. The Lincoln cent, which has been in circulation since 1909, is often overlooked as too common to be exciting, but the 2001 piece in question proves otherwise. Errors, oddities, and special strikes can turn something as simple as a copper-plated zinc cent into a prize worth chasing. For numismatists, the thrill lies in finding that tiny difference that changes everything. This particular 2001 penny is believed to have been minted under unusual circumstances, resulting in a coin with characteristics not meant for circulation. Experts suggest that a combination of misstruck dies, misplaced mint marks, or even experimental processes might explain its existence. What is certain is that it is unlike anything else produced in the Philadelphia or Denver mints that year. Stories from collectors say the coin shows doubling on features such as the date and lettering, with a mint mark that seems out of alignment. Small errors like these are often ignored, but when combined and confirmed by grading authorities, they elevate a coin into legendary status. The 2001 example has exactly that aura, making it a conversation piece across coin shows and auctions. Unlike common varieties, this piece is not just about an error but about its extreme rarity. In fact, so few have surfaced that many still question whether all examples have been accounted for. Each sighting has been carefully documented, with authentication steps carried out by top grading services to prevent counterfeits. For collectors, that scarcity alone is enough to drive up demand. The design of the Lincoln cent remains iconic, with the familiar bust of Abraham Lincoln on the obverse and the Lincoln Memorial on the reverse, yet this 2001 cent takes on a different meaning entirely. It is no longer just a tribute to a president but a symbol of the mysteries hidden in everyday coins. Holding one feels like stepping into a secret chapter of U.S. minting history. Auction records over the years have shown that collectors are willing to pay astonishing sums for rare cents, and the 2001 specimen is no exception. With each confirmed sale, excitement grows, and the legend deepens, as ordinary collectors dream of spotting one in a roll of change. The story transforms the penny into an object of imagination as much as investment. Beyond financial value, the coin holds cultural significance. It demonstrates how even the smallest pieces of currency can become artifacts that tell stories about mistakes, experiments, and hidden corners of history. For many, the allure is not just owning wealth in a tiny coin, but owning a piece of a larger narrative about America's minting journey. As with all great numismatic treasures, skepticism and fascination walk hand in hand. Some believe there may be undiscovered examples still circulating, waiting for sharp-eyed searchers to pull them from jars or drawers. Others argue the known pieces are all that exist, making each one that much more important. Either way, the 2001 penny has cemented its place as one of the rarest cents of its time. When it comes to value, experts and auction houses have consistently pointed to staggering numbers. The most famous sale placed the worth of the 2001 mint-mark penny at $1 million, a figure that shocks anyone who once dismissed pennies as insignificant. That valuation alone ensures its place among the great rarities in U.S. coinage. Collectors often say that the hunt is half the fun, and this 2001 penny has inspired countless searches. The dream of finding one is what keeps hobbyists sifting through piles of copper and zinc cents, hoping lightning will strike. The story of its value only fuels that dream further. The tale of the 2001 penny stands as a reminder that greatness can hide in plain sight. From the smallest details etched on its surface to the million-dollar price it commands, it is proof that history, rarity, and chance can turn even a cent into a legend. Each whisper of discovery brings renewed hope that another example might still be out there, waiting to be found.